最美的图案节大拉森，昆的张啊巴啊喂萨拉森，图案节꽃도 미게 나오는 파란 사인 ыстық тартып барасың туған жерің құтты мекен ауылым барған сайын ыстық тартып барасың.
If you stand in the center of the room, facing the door, you see a small, eye-shaped camera.
Behind you is another camera. Then here is a toilet. The beds were bunk beds. Here's a bed where I slept. I slept on the upper bunk.
If you look out the window, you can see the huge fence of the camp and a grassy area where you can rest, all surrounded by a metal fence. The Taching Regional Vocational Skills, Education and Training Center. It used to be a nursing home. Of course, we didn't have the luxury of strolling in that garden.
There were 9 or 10 people. Later on, sometimes 13 or 15 people sleeping in one room.
The light is always on. You can't see your own shadow. You need to get up at 6:30 or 7 Beijing time. We would sing Chinese red songs every morning and every day.
Look straight, head towards me, stand straight like this. Yerbaqat sang it to me so many times. He taught me to sing like this.
I asked him to recite 1 or 2 sentences every day. That's how I taught him. After getting up in the morning, you have half an hour to eat and wash the dishes.
They would give us vegetable dishes with the rice. We would see meat once a month. We didn't know what kind of meat, but we ate it. We lived like livestock. Sometimes I recall some things and I laugh. Sometimes I cry. One day I told the guys I was hungry. Yerbaqat heard about it. He brought me a steamed bun, saying, "Eat it." I don't know how he did it. From that moment, our friendship developed into brotherhood.
我们不需要更多的溢美之词，我们一贯欢迎客观的介绍和有益的建议。
Above the door was a TV set. We would watch TV for 2 hours every day. It would always broadcast shows about places Dam Xi Jinping had visited. You get bored, but even as you are bored, others around you are studying. There was a thick book in Chinese, and they made you copy it out. That was your job.
I wasn't able to write any words there. I couldn't write my own name. I grew up in a herder's family. On Saturdays and Sundays, they would always come to our room with a group of soldiers. They would come with guns, and they'd make a mess.
Wormbek was beaten up a lot because his Chinese was so bad. As he was sobbing, I tried to calm him down. I told him, people who don't speak Chinese are being released too. Don't be sad.
I was scared. I was thinking to myself, why was I taken here? I'm innocent. When will I be released? After 7 days, they took me to be interrogated. Then I understood. When I asked what my crime was, they answered that I was a traitor. I said I'm not any kind of traitor. I said I was an honest guy, only I didn't go to school. They said that it was a learning center, not a prison, and that I would eventually leave. I asked what would happen if I couldn't learn anything. They said I would spend 5 years here. When I said I didn't understand, they took me and they put me into a hole. They were looking at me like they were watching a movie. As I was looking up, they poured water on me. I don't remember if I cried or yelled, but all the inmates in the camp told me that I screamed like a horse.
When we were in the camp, we would sing songs to cheer each other up. You are not allowed to sing in Kazakh or Uyghur, but you can sing in Mongolian or English. I have a favorite song by a Mongolian singer. It goes, I grew up on a vast grassland. I grew up freely on the land of my ancestors, and I was nurtured by it. When I would sing this kind of songs, my classmates and my roommates would feel happy. They'd ask me to sing more.
Мынау стадион ғой, оқу үйреніп екі. Мына есіктен кіресің.
This is studying room number 2, and you enter through this door.
Ескі жағында мұғалімдер.
The teacher stands on the blackboard side.
The policeman would be standing here, holding rifles. The room is divided by iron bars. Once the students are in the room, the door is locked.
제가 봤을 때 이 бас жағында жаңағы класс болатын 꼭.
Each floor had a classroom which could accommodate 80 or 90 students. After breakfast, we would go to classes and then we would study until the evening. 10 hours total. Old people with vision problems would sit at the front. The youngest ones, as young as 18, would sit at the back. There were heads of county there and bosses of big companies. There were prominent writers, imams from mosques. There were a lot of influential people.
All of the rules are against religion. Religion is like an opium, they tell us. They talk about jihadists. They say that if someone doesn't smoke or drink alcohol, they might be having extremist thoughts. That person's thoughts have been poisoned, they say. Watch out for people like that.
Дүйсенбі күні, әрбір дүйсенбі күні Қытайдың
We sing the national anthem every Monday as they raise the flag. You have to sing it very loudly. One day in the classroom, my side began to ache. While singing the anthem, it was intolerable. When I told them what was happening, the guard asked me to wait. They called an ambulance. A young Han Chinese doctor came and examined me. He said my appendix had ruptured. I needed an emergency operation. They injected anesthesia, but it still hurt. I shouted because of the pain, and they tied my hands down. I saw a light, and around the light was a shiny metal surface, and you could see your reflection in it, like in a mirror. I saw them pull out my appendix. They removed it from a tiny hole. I was telling them it was unbearably painful. I was crying, my eyes were filled with tears. I was screaming. Nobody cared. A guard approached me and said, "You won't die. And even if you die, no one will know about it."
өлмейсің, өлсең сен де сұрақсыз кетесің.
When I returned, Warrenbeck was still there. He massaged my hands and legs, brought me food. He took care of me. You think different things inside. We would regret all the time we wasted when we were free. We would dream of different foods, or going for walks, or traveling. We'd talk about our dreams. I would think about being in a playground with my kids. Why did I scold them?
Еркіндікке қой бермедің нәсіл, еркіндік деген ең қымбат екен бұл.
Why didn't I let them simply be free?
Бір күн шығарды ғой, жаңағы 400 шақырды, группа.
One day, they took us outside, 400 of us, group by group.
There were different rumors that the people staying behind would soon be released, and we, who are being transferred, will stay in prison forever.
Коридордың ортасында
There are 2 yellow lines in the middle of the hallway. You have to walk inside the yellow lines. They ordered us to sit like this, to squat. They had rifles and were yelling at us. Then they put hoods on us. Like the Second World War, like the fascists dealing with the Jews. We thought they were going to shoot us there.
They shackle your ankles, put the hood on your head, and they take you onto the bus and take you away. They took us to the second prison. It was newly built. We would talk to each other secretly. People would say that the Kazakhs in Kazakhstan are rising up against the camps. Even foreigners are against this. Now, they don't know how to release us. I told Amanjan many times, they will not detain you for long. You will leave before me. If you ever leave, contact my family. Suddenly, one day we were told to fill out a form. Where is your house? Who are your family members? They told us if everything corresponded, they would set us free. On April 12th, they let Aman and Ormbek go. They said that they would release Kazakhstan passport holders. They were taken to the border. I was released on December 23rd. They told me to write a letter promising that I wouldn't tell the outside world anything about the camp. I wrote it.